Investors were braced for another wave of selling in stock markets. The US dollar stalled its rally, waiting a new negative record in the US labor market. In fact, the number of initial jobless claims doubled the one last week, and it was 23 times worse than the figure 2 weeks ago. The US dollar index again passed the level of 100 points. Global stocks are trading under extreme volatility. At present, we do not see two-digit values of growth or decline. Nevertheless, investors are stoking fears amid economic uncertainty. Markets have to adjust for new reality. Joint stimulus program from governments and leading central banks mitigated a downturn in markets for a while. There is still a strong likelihood that stocks will continue a losing streak, hitting fresh record lows. The reason is the same: the coronavirus fallout to the global economy. Uncertainty around the extent of the economic damage and painful recovery of the US economy discourage investors to buy US securities, which have lost a lot in value. The Dow Jones has been trading lower for the third day in a row. Yesterday, do not take comfort from better than expected statistics on the US economy. The ISM manufacturing PMI dropped moderately. According to ADP, employment decrease in the US private sector was also not as dismal as in the forecast. Investors are well aware that the worst is to come. Investors are fretted about appealing rates of the pandemic, which deals a heavy blow to the global economy. The World Health Care Organization still assigns the situation to red alert. Ongoing market jitters create perfect conditions for growth of the US dollar. Traders have nothing to do but flock to safe haven assets. The US dollar index is trading slightly higher today, having gained 0.11%. The market is in the standstill as investors are braced for another dismal report on the US labor market. In the evening, the US dollar index again surpassed the level of 100. Now, traders are evaluating a weekly update on initial jobless claims, which hit a new historic record. Last week, 3,241,000 Americans applied for first-time unemployment benefits. Experts had assumed almost 5 million more initial jobless claims since the previous week. The US economy has logged unprecedented job losses. Meanwhile, the US dollar is putting pressure on the Canadian rival. The loonie has not been able to benefit from a 10% spike of oil prices. The USD pair surged 100 pips to trade at near 1.4260. Experts warned that the number of unemployed Americans could exceed the figure recorded during the Great Depression. According to the Market Watch poll, at least 25 million Americans could lose jobs in the nearest months. That's all for today. We wish you profitable deals and take care. See you tomorrow.